Hey, hi. Yeah, I'm a. Oops, I have an echo. There. Um, yeah, I was a little late getting started. We're experiencing some ex wife drama, so I was up talking to Honey Bunny and lost track of time. So you probably caught me right as I logged in. Two, three, and it still says I have 0 viewers. Oh, now three. The viewer count is psycho. Veggie, if you ever start streaming, keep in mind that the viewer count is psycho. It's always wrong. Try not to pay any attention to it. She says, "Ooh, juicy." Just kidding. Ugh, X drama. Yeah, she is a piece of work. And yeah, this one sort of came from out of the blue. Well, they often do. It often does come from out of the blue. And you know, lies, lies, lies. Everything is lies. Veggie says, "Oh, I know, lol." It's been 20 years, girl. Get it together. That's right. Hey, honey bunny. Whoops, I think, let's see, one, two, three. Nope, I did that wrong. I am, I'm in kid mitten mode. Veggie says, hi, honey bunny. So, so yeah. As if, there wasn't enough stress this year. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and eight. I haven't knit any of these in a while. Let's see if I remember how. So how are you? How are you doing, Veg? Got any flying jellyfish in your part of the state or anything? I was looking at the tracking for some yarn base I ordered, and the UPS website said that they are not delivering in certain parts, picking up or delivering in certain parts of Texas. And I was like, what the heck is going on in Texas? I can understand, California, Colorado, and Washington State where there are fires, and probably other places in the, south, or not south, west. But I didn't know are you having more hurricanes? I saw there's like 8 million tropical storms in the Atlantic right now. So between y'all and Florida, this isn't looking to be a good hurricane season. Hey, there's Honey Bunny. Honey Bunny said hi. Veggie said, I just got a squishy yarn package, so I don't know. Well, my yarn is coming from Florida. I should look at the tracking again. Every time I look, it still says that the data has been submitted. Your order has been shipped. Okay, and your email needs to open. Come on. Oh, there it is. Track your package. Oh, hey, it finally says it's in transit. It's in the United States. I knew that. Huh. It started out in Miami. It got as far as Orlando, where it has spent 2 days. What the heck is up with that? What's today? 24th. Okay, so I wonder what the chances are that it could maybe arrive tomorrow. That'd be lovely. See, it's not giving me... It says, please check back later for scheduled delivery. I don't know. I don't know if I'm liking this UPS thing. Seems like I get better tracking information from the post office. Veggie said, I feel special. What'd you get? What kind of yarn did you get? I have, let's see, what do I have coming? I ordered sample skeins. I think I said this already. I ordered sample skeins from Dyer Supplier. And so I got one skein each of 75-25 merino nylon fingering. One skein of sparkle sock, which is just your basic. I'm pretty sure it's like a merino nylon. And it's got some silver stellina in it. Marled sock yarn, which is it's the Peruvian Highland wool, I'm pretty sure. But it's one ply of undyed and one ply of gray, or it might be 2 plies of each. I'd have to go back and look. One skein of BFL fingering superwash, and one skein of the silvery sock, which is a merino. I think it's merino nylon. Let me look. Yep, 60% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 20 stinking percent stellina. It's got so much silver stellina in it that the undyed skein looks gray. And that's my kind of sparkle. So I'm thinking that that's going to be some kind of a Christmas colorway. Although, once I've seen it, if I like it, that might be what ends up, I might get some more of that and dye it for the background color on my lunar spine shawl. And then use just a plain, a non-sparkly undyed. What am I doing? Okay, here's a tank because I'm a goofball. I'm thinking about my sparkly yarn and not. Doggone it. Okay, I'm not gonna tank. I'm just gonna rip it out and start over because I was on the first row. Veggie says, I got the other color options for the lunar spine shawl. Oh, okay, cool. I need to take pictures with better lighting and get suggestions for which one goes better, hoping it won't end up being the nitpicks, which was what it was going to be originally. Yeah, ribbit. Darn shiny things. And like I've said, I really am sort of more of a tree-hugging dirt worshiper, very crunchy granola. But I'm also a magpie. I love shiny, sparkly things. I don't really wear sparkly clothes. I'd feel ridiculous like in a sequin dress or something. But I love sparkly yarn. Okay, I'm gonna count and pay attention. Mindfulness. Okay, we're gonna be mindful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, there's the first needle. Probably not going to get these done in this stream, right? Between it being a longer stream and and me not being able to focus because I'm thinking about shiny yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and another one. 1. The only thing about this colorway is where the purple and the gold sort of run into each other, it gets a little muddy. Because, purple and orange are going to make brown. And the gold does lean a little towards orange. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and of course, I forgot to take my pumpkin hats to the cabin today. Is not going to happen tomorrow. Which means they won't be there for Saturday, so they're going to have to wait a week. I don't have very much for sale at the cabin right now because mostly it's all sold, which is a good thing, but it'll just have to wait a week. Okay, so Veggie posted a link. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, in the TED Talk, I wish the woman would have talked more about how they train mindfulness. I suppose they want you to go to their facility and pay for the training. But I know, the whole thing about meditation and your mind wanders and you bring it back and your mind wanders and you bring it back. But still. Okay, so we're going to just knit. There is not any purling in this pattern. Just remember that. No purling. Veggie said, yeah, I read some comments, and yeah, it seemed like an ad for their program. There was another one. Did I just post the one? Because there was another one that the same friend sent, which I think I even liked better. That still didn't tell me enough, but... Let me find her.
After 30 days,
You'd think after all these years I'd know how to copy and paste, wouldn't you? It doesn't help. The Streamlabs doesn't let me copy and paste. I have to Control V like old school. There. Okay, try this one. Maybe not right this second because it's not short. Okay, where am I? There's Streamlabs. Veggie says, the path to enlightenment is individual. It can be yours for 4 payments of $99.99. Yeah, this particular friend and I have had a lot of conversations about how spiritual growth and healing are mostly available to the affluent. You know, we were talking about how back in the day, you know, when I took my Reiki training, well, when I first encountered Reiki, it was very expensive to get trained. You know, you could take Reiki 1 and 2 over the course of a weekend for like $150, which, you know, 30 years ago, that was a considerable amount of money for many of us. But then to take Reiki 3 to be a Reiki master and a trainer was like $10,000. Well, I fell in with some rebels who, and there were all these vows. You had to take all these vows in the training that you wouldn't share. I mean, of course you would go out and do the healing, but you wouldn't share the secrets. And because, you know, then that way, you know, you'd taken vows you couldn't go out and teach people for free. And that kept, you know, the money flowing in the Reiki community. Well, when I was in my second year of massage school, I took, after I graduated from massage school, I took a second year, sort of a graduate program in subtle energy therapies, because that's what I love. I love the polarity and Reiki and all that kind of stuff. And my massage instructor found this Reiki rebel somewhere who didn't expect vows. She thought that was ridiculous because she thought we need to get this out there. People need healing. And so she did our Reiki 1 and 2, you know, level 1 and level 2, with no vows. And it was part of our program. We didn't pay any extra for it over and above what we were paying for, you know, the second year of massage school. And then, like a month later, a friend of mine who I traded body work with had gotten her Reiki 3, and she wanted to practice passing attunements. So she gave me the Reiki 3 attunement in exchange for a massage. So I slid in under the radar. But now there are tons and tons of people who teach very inexpensively, or even will you know, I like the idea of there always being an energy exchange, but I also believe that exchange of energy can be paid forward. So there have been times when I've attuned somebody to Reiki 1 and said, go buy Diane Stein's book and read it, and then, you know, go forth and lay your hands upon people. But I've pissed people off doing that. How dare you? Did you just attune her for free? With no vow? Yes, I did. Because I think that's the right thing. Oh, God. And now I'm starting to see stuff on the internet about cultural appropriation through Reiki, because we're stealing this thing from Japan. It's like, Japan stole it from Tibet. Reiki originated in Tibet amongst Buddhist monks. And then some Japanese guy went there and learned it and took it back to Japan and created this whole cultural thing around it. Veggie said, I can see it being kept from just anyone who doesn't really know what they are doing. LOL, but money shouldn't be a thing. Well, but the thing, and I agree with what you're saying, but the thing with Reiki is I can't imagine a way you could misuse it or use it to hurt anyone or hurt yourself. I mean, there are some sorts of things that you shouldn't mess with unless you understand, you know, what all the facets of it are. Reiki's not like that. It's just laying on of hands. And it's just, our bodies doing what our bodies do. Veggie says Kung Fu is just, well, in an extreme way, perhaps. Well, no, but see that not really, because you're mixing your metaphors. Kung Fu is, I think, Chinese. Yoga is from India. Yeah. But anyway, yes. The road to enlightenment can be yours for four payments of $99.99. Well, and see, and there's this healing method that I've been using for, I don't know, probably 10 years. But in order to get the actual certification to be able to do it and charge for it, it cost me thousands of dollars, which I don't have. So I just keep playing around with it and doing it for myself and for people I care about and anybody else who will let me. And, and I don't think there are any, body code police that are going to come bang on my door if they find out that I charge someone for it. But it just still feels like, in order to be respectful, I shouldn't charge people for it unless I get the. So, if I ever win the lottery, should I ever buy a ticket, perhaps I'll take that training. I mean, I paid good money to go to massage school. So, and I didn't argue about that martial arts then, yeah. There is a lot of, and this is really lost on a lot of Americans, but martial arts are a spiritual process. Anybody who's ever watched all of the Karate Kid movies will have gathered that. But there are a lot of American folks who think it's all about fighting. And it really is not so much. Mr. Miyagi had the right of things. Miyagi Sensei. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. The woman in the second TED Talk, I kept looking at her thinking, is she human? Or is she like a Pleiadian alien? She's got the long silvery blonde hair and the shape of her face, and she's slender, and it's like, I don't know, she might be an alien. Turns out she's a psychologist or a psychotherapist, or I don't know, some kind of a psych person. But I liked her talk. I liked her talk better, but I hadn't watched it yet when I posted the other one, or I would have just posted this one. There was more useful information in it rather than just a commercial. You calling me rude? What am I on? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I'm on 5. Yeah, maybe she's an alien, or maybe you're calling me rude. I didn't say that being a Pleiadian alien would be a bad thing. No comment. Uh-oh, but my viewer count went down. I must have offended somebody. Sorry, I was not disparaging. I was just curious. Either that or somebody came here to see knitting and they don't care about Reiki and yoga and mindfulness meditation. Or Mr. Miyagi. So, how are you doing, Veg? How is stuff? It seems like everybody in real life around here is tired. You know, it's like we're at the next level of fatigue. Veggie says, not care about mindfulness and meditation? Do they not know what knitting is or crafts? Pa. Or was that a push? Psh. Pshaw. Or spinning. Well, at least, once you get the spinning under control, so it's not stressing you the heck out. Yeah, spinning stressed me the heck out for a while. And then once I think it's like at the point where muscle memory was achieved, then it became meditative. And sometimes weaving is meditative and sometimes weaving is stressful. I had a newbie today helping me. It's the same woman who, she's not a complete noob to weaving. She's done one of our make and takes. So she wove a rug on a loom that was already set up. And then she's done quite a bit of weaving like on a rigid heddle loom. But she bought, and I think I probably said this, but people have been in and out a lot lately, so I don't know who heard what. But she bought a cranbrook loom. She got a really good deal. Oh my God, really good deal on a 60-inch Bexel cranbrook, which Bexel cranbrooks are like my holy grail loom. And we have a 45-inch, which is what I learned to weave on at the weaver's cabin. And hang on, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 okay. And we had it set up downstairs, and I'd been weaving on it because everybody else is intimidated by it because it's ginormous. Okay, what? 1 2 3 4 1 2 oh okay, wait. And but now that the Weaver's Cabin is a business and we are allowed to sell things there, see, we used to be part of the museum, and we're a separate building, like, a block down the street, but we were a function of the museum. Well, they were going to shut us down because, times have been hard and there just wasn't the money to keep our lights on and stuff. And so, but we were then given the opportunity to rent the cabin. So we started our own LLC and got our own bank account and insurance and stuff. And now that we are separate and we are a legal business entity, we can sell things. So our volunteers can, we can sell things we've made. And which is very nice. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so we needed space on the first floor to display stuff for sale. So we moved the cranbrook upstairs. I was nervous. I wasn't sure the floor upstairs because you can see the first floor through the cracks in the floor of the second floor. And I have to be really careful to not think about that because you know how I am about bridges and heights and things. But anyway, but it's just fine. The weight is dispersed enough because it's got kind of a large footprint. So anyway, um, I had gotten it all assembled, but I didn't have the treadles tied up yet. And that's the point that Arlene is at with her loom. She's got it all assembled, but she didn't know how to do the tie-ups. So she came in on Monday afternoon and we did the tie-ups. Mostly she did the tie-ups. I laid on the floor and passed her the chains and told her where to put the chains. And today she came in and we had initially planned on warping the Cranbrook, but I had been asked if I would put a new warp on one of the make and take looms so that we could, because we have people coming for make and take sessions this weekend. And she had never wanted to warp on a warping board. And so we did that, and then we didn't have to thread the loom because there was still a little bit of the previous warp left. So all we had to do was tie it on and then ease the knots through the reed and the heddles. I don't know how much you know about weaving, if I'm speaking a foreign language. And then, crank it on the beam. And we got all that done, and we got it tied back onto the front apron just as it was time to go home. So that worked. But I'm a little sore between, all of that. I've been spending a lot of time at the Weaver's cabin this week, and now they asked me. So I was there Monday for like 3 hours. Yesterday from 10, 11, 12, for like 4 hours. Today for 3 hours. And then I was asked if I could come after work on Saturday because they'll have a make and take underway, but they won't be finished yet, and they want the extra help. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, like 5 days this week. I mean, only a few hours each time, but, enough to qualify as a part-time job. But to be fair, apparently quite a lot of my stuff sold last weekend because I have next to nothing there right now. Whoops. Not counting. Okay, this is going to be a tinkful night. Veggie said, it's stressful until I ply, then I will really know how much twist I actually put in. I have this, I don't know, it's like over the last few years, I have to really pay attention or my yarn is so underplied that I'll be knitting along and there'll be like 2 strands of yarn next to each other, not even twisted. It's like, where'd you come from? But then there'll be other parts of the yarn that are twisted just fine, plied just fine. I don't know what's wrong with me. Not paying attention, I guess. I need to be mindful. And Veggie says, I am tired. I keep telling myself I will fix the sleep schedule. Then for some reason or other, I can't sleep. Just all the things. Yep. I'm thinking I might do the 14-hour nap after I get home Saturday. And maybe a short nap tomorrow when I have a weekly phone call on Friday nights, catching up with this old friend who we had lost touch for a long time. And so I need to be awake by 10:30. But I could come home and nap until then, although I set the dyeing station up out on the back deck thinking there are going to be all these nice days this week. I can, get some stuff dyed. And then I come home. I came home from the cabin tonight and it was dark out already. It's like, what the heck happened? It's like fall. Just a little bit, but not. But yeah, it was nice to have help because I would have been doing that all by myself. And it takes a little longer, when somebody's just learning. But still, it was a lot more efficient. And in the long run, ended up being faster than I would have been by myself. A little bit, but not much. But so did you understand any of what I was saying? So yeah, I'm tired. And then, I got to get up and work tomorrow. And, I keep thinking, okay, well, I will do some dyeing tomorrow after work. But I know I'm going to come home and I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit in front of the computer and I'm going to be tired. And I'm not going to feel like standing and measuring the dyes. And although, what I really do need to do is dye a couple of skeins of this white handspun orange because I need pumpkin hats desperately. And little apple hats and little kitty cat hats. And I know for work my boss is going to want Santa hats. So I guess I need to dye some red too. Yeah. I got lots to do. And I need to keep making masks because those silly things keep selling. My boss texted me today and she said, "Do you have enough of that Halloween fabric to make an adult size mask?" Yes, I do. But that means I got to cut the silly thing out, sew it up. Veggie said, "This community has educated me a little on a craft that I said I wasn't interested in. Guess who is now, haha." You know what? I couldn't tell you how many new volunteers have come into the Weaver's Cabin over the years. They're like, "Oh, I just knit," or "Oh, I just crochet." No, I'm not interested in learning any of those other things. And the next thing you know, they start getting curious about spinning. And then they spin for a while, and then they start getting curious about weaving. It's like, well, what exactly is that you're doing over there? Well, could I help? Sure, you can help. Yeah, we'll show you what was it Morpheus said? And I'll show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Veggie said, "Yep, the spinning did it for me too." I think, well, I had started crocheting and knitting when I was like 6 and 7. And at some point around that time, must have been around 6, my mom bought me a potholder loom. And then in elementary school, I think it was in the first grade, so I started making potholders between kindergarten and the first grade at home. And then from there, I cut a crochet hook out of corrugated cardboard and took my loops for my potholder loom and snipped them open and sewed them together end to end and taught myself how to crochet a chain. After which I was given a real crochet hook on some yarn. And then, since I had yarn, I took 2 10-penny nails out of my stepfather's toolbox because they kind of looked like knitting needles, and taught myself how to knit. And then my mom gave me these little basket weaving things. There was little plastic framework that you just wove raffia around. It was plastic raffia in pastel colors, and you wove it through the little spines of the basket and made little baskets. So yeah. So it goes back that far. And but then when I was a freshman in college, I went to visit a high school friend in her dorm room, and one of her roommates was spinning on a drop spindle. And I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And she let me try. So because of that, I had listed fiber design as an alternate when I signed up for classes, and got bumped into it because the drawing class I needed was full. And yeah, so I think spinning, in that regard, spinning was my gateway drug. But it all started with that cardboard crochet hook. I mean, can you just see the 6-year-old? So determined. Well, my step-grandmother would come in and spend the winter with us sometimes because Michigan winters were hard on her emphysema, and we lived in Virginia. And she was always crocheting or knitting, but she didn't think and I probably had expressed interest, but she didn't think I was old enough. I showed her. But yeah, for me, all those things were the gateway drugs. Weaving was the pinnacle. But then, I attend all these programs at guild meetings, and people are doing things like bobbin lace and all this stuff. And I'm like, kumihimu. It's like, I don't need more hobbies. I don't have time. I don't have time. I have too much spinning and knitting and weaving to do. And I want one of those sock cranking machines, circular sock machines. I could knit socks, like a pair of socks, in an hour. Of course, they'd all be vanilla socks, but that's okay. Most of my socks are vanilla anyway. So if you didn't already think I was a fiber nerd, now you know. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, knit 2 together. That was another tink, though, in case you missed it. Veggie said, same, 8 or 9. Someone taught my mom to crochet, then she taught me, which I'm left-handed and she's not, so that was interesting. One of the women at the Make and Take yesterday was Wednesday, right? Yeah. Was saying that she really has struggled learning to knit because she's left-handed and her mom was right-handed. And I said, if I have somebody that's left-handed, I just have them face me instead of sit next to me. And that helps to a certain degree. But or teach them continental, because when I was young, people used to always tell me I knit left-handed. And it wasn't until, but I do a lot of things left-handed, so I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until I was an adult that I ever heard of continental knitting or German knitting, as opposed to, English. Oh, and here we go again. I think I was supposed to start the gusset. Oh, did you see I found How's everything is all crooked because I'm leaning on the cloth and pulling it off the table. See, I found a nice white piece of fabric to knit over so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Veggie said, then I got bored with crochet, taught myself to knit after I moved back to Texas because you need knitting in the hot. Yeah. One of my friends from the guild moved to Florida and she sold all her. She kept her loom and she kept her wheel, but she like gave away and sold all of her like wool. And she said, I'm not going to need I'm not going to be weaving wool in Florida. Said, I'll just weave dish towels. But you never know, we are living in the apocalypse. You might get snow down there this year. Veggie says, right. But no matter where you live, you can make the cold weather stuff and just sell it because, there are people other places who need it. Veggie says, I wonder how much was repurchased. Right, I have thought the same thing. Hey, Robo, how are you doing? I have been knitting so many kid mittens that I'm now trying to knit fingerless mitts and I don't know what I'm doing. Robo says, I'm here, LOL. I think that's kind of where we all are right now. It's like, yeah, I'm here. We are all on this roller coaster ride together. Knots and Stitches. Hi there, by the way, Knots and Stitches. Said, my best friend is right-handed, but crochets left-handed because that's how she was taught. I've been knitting kid mittens because I need inventory because it's getting to be that time of year. And I neglected to work on my inventory over, the whole of the pandemic. So this is what I did last night. Kid mittens in my Nightmare Before Christmas colorway, and now I'm doing a pair of adult fingerless mitts also in my Nightmare Before Christmas colorway. I don't think on camera you just kind of see purple and orangey gold. In real life there's all different shades of purple. Veggie said, I want off and I want to get milkshakes. Yeah. Yeah, let me off of this ride, please. Robo said, should be working on a commission, but I don't feel like reading patterns right now, so I'm spinning instead. Sounds like a plan. I don't think I could read patterns right now if I had to. I have no focus. Veggie said, wow, that's interesting, Knots and Stitches. Robo says, also, on the note of being in warm weather areas and cold weather stuff, I've seen people in Florida in gloves and winter gear in 50-degree weather, so it doesn't make any sense anyone would wear them anytime. Well, my cousins who grew up in Key West always said that there was usually a month out of the year where you needed a sweatshirt. That, because it'd be 60, and I'd be 60, I'm still in shorts and a t-shirt. But, where they're used to warmer weather. But that sweatshirt could easily be a hand knit sweater. Robo's like, 60? Let's go swimming. Absolutely. Veggie said, that's true. I'm constantly in a hoodie even in the summer. Not me. Robo says, I'm up in Michigan, lol. Okay, I've probably asked you this before, but what part of Michigan are you in? I'm so homesick. I miss Michigan so much. And I follow so much Michigan stuff on Facebook. I always know more about what's going on in Michigan than I do about what's going on in Pennsylvania. Veggie said, I don't get the sweaters and shorts thing. But you know, there are people around here who wear shorts all winter. Got men mostly. You know, they're out there and they got their parka on and shorts. Robo said, I'm nearish Lansing. Went to college at Tech. Grew up in Grand Rapids. Oh, I have friends in Grand Rapids. My family is mostly in the Saginaw area. I graduated from Bridgeport. Well, I grew up in the Navy, and we were other places until I was in the 7th grade. And then we moved back to Bridgeport. I went to junior high, finished junior high, and went to high school there. And then I went to Central Michigan, so moved to Mount Pleasant, where I also went to grad school. Stayed there quite a long time. And then I moved to Traverse City and lived around the Traverse City area from 87 until 2000. And while I was in the Traverse City area, I lived downtown, I lived in Lake Ann, I lived in Interlaken, I lived in Grawn, I lived all over the place. And I've been in Western Pennsylvania for about 20 years. And lately I've been really homesick I'm homesick both for Michigan and for Norfolk, Virginia. Those are the two places I always considered home. Although now I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere in my life, so I guess that really makes this home. Nuts and Stitches said, I have an aunt who puts on a sweater anytime the temp is below 75. No. I think there's been one night so far that I put on a sweatshirt. And it was like, we had a low of like 34 that night. Robo says, went to Central. Yep, I went to Central. Robo said, Michigan is better, no bias. It depends on what you're going to school for. You know, I was in education, so Central was where you went, you know, to be a teacher. And it worked for me. You know, it was a good experience for me. I do like Ann Arbor. I also like Lansing. Birding Mom says, hey there. Oh, Robo says, oh no, I mean the state, not U of M. Yes. Yeah, I am a Michigan person through and through. I sometimes daydream about moving back to Norfolk, but I don't know anybody there anymore. You know, most of the people I knew there were other Navy families. The older locals who were my mom's friends, you know, people who were, you know, born and raised there are mostly gone. You know, they're in their 80s or 90s. And you know, and it's not the same. You know, I haven't lived there since 73. I haven't been back since 77. But we talk about going down and, you know, showing my husband all the historical sites down there. He would love, you know, to go to Jamestown and Williamsburg and Yorktown and all that kind of stuff. But yes, Michigan is the bestest state in the whole world. Pennsylvania is weird. Pennsylvania is very weird. Robo says, yeah, that's understandable. and says, well, at the very least, Michigan has the best tourist stuff if you like being outside. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I loved living in Traverse City. It it's expensive to live there. People always say a view of the bay is worth half the pay, and to which I always added, and twice the rent. But yeah, it's a beautiful place to live. Even if it is overrun with tourists half the year. Well, probably more like 3/4, because you get the summer tourists and you get the winter tourists and you get the fall color tour tourist. And really the only time it's not overrun with tourists is those couple of weeks between winter and spring when everything's just mud. Robo says, TC, wonderful as long as it's not the Cherry Festival. That's true. And anybody who lives there knows how to get wherever they need to go while avoiding the Cherry Festival. It's like all of the ways to skirt around the outside of town without having to drive through that mess. Traverse City, when I don't know what the population is now. When I lived there, the population was about 30,000. And it would, during Cherry Festival, it'd be more like 1 million. It was, or at least 100,000. It was awful. Absolutely awful. And thank you so much for the follow. Trying to see your name. All Crafty has followed. Thank you so much for the follow. Veggie said, speaking of temps, had to check the thermostat and raise the temp. It can be 70 outside, not inside. Thanks, hubby, for freezing me out. Birdie Mom said, LOL, one of my cozy mysteries is set just above Traverse City and talks about tourist season. Oh, where is it set? Like Elk Rapids or Petoskey? I love Traverse City. We could have a retreat there. Lodging and meals would be a higher price point than if we have them here. We don't have tourist season here. And one of my favorite bumper stickers when I lived there said, if it's called tourist season, why can't we shoot them? Because, it's like you walk this fine line, understanding that you make your living because of the tourists. You're dependent on the tourists for your living. But at the same time, they're just such a huge pain in the ass. Veggie says, where did all these people come from all of a sudden? Yeah, downstate. Downstate, out of state. Robo says, just north of TC is the lake. Actually, Traverse City is Traverse City is on the Grand Traverse Bay, which is a big bay divided by a 30 mile long peninsula. So you have an East Bay and a West Bay that have very different personalities. But technically the bay or the bays are part of Lake Michigan. But to get to the real Lake Michigan, you have to either drive west or drive up through Leelanau Peninsula. Birdie Mom said, all cozy memories are in fictitious small towns. I've lived in a lot of fictitious small towns. Not since stitches, the tourists are a pain, but they pay the bills. That's for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like I was saying, I follow all of this Michigan stuff on Facebook, and I know way more of what's going on in Michigan than in Pennsylvania. Robo said, did you know Michigan is the only place you can drive south into Canada? That's true. Veggie says, local season, tourist season, duck season. And in Traverse City, they're not called, or even in the whole, northwestern Michigan, from Traverse City and then north to the bridge. And we've talked about the bridge and Mackinac Island. They're not called tourists, they're called fudgies, because northwestern lower Michigan, to be very precise, is famous for its handmade fudge. And so the tourists always buy fudge, and so they're fudgies. And I was told when I moved to Traverse City, I'm like, well, I live here now. And they're like, you're still a fudgy. And it's like, well, how long do I have to live here before I'm no longer a fudgy? And they said, well, after a year you become permafudge, but you're still a fudgy. Now, if you have children who are born and raised here, they'll be local, but you'll always be a fudgy. It's like, well, fine. Robo says it's deer season in Michigan. Is it really deer season already? I thought that was closer to Thanksgiving. Knots and Stitches says rabbit season. Robo says either by gun, bow, or car. Yeah, I hit a deer once. I think everybody hits a deer once. And I know plenty of people, and some people who don't live where there are deer would think, well, if you hit a deer, you weren't driving cautiously enough. It's like, no, I know plenty of people who got broadsided by deer. It's like the deer trying to enter through the driver's side window. Robo said, you don't live in Michigan if you don't. Here in Western Pennsylvania, what everybody hits eventually is a groundhog. Hopefully not Phil. Because if, somebody hit Phil, we wouldn't know whether spring was going to be early or late. Oh, what am I doing? Knit 1, knit 2 together. But those deer alerts, do people still use deer alerts in Michigan? Nobody here knows what deer alerts are. But you put them on your car and they make this sound that is, when your car is going at highway speed, the deer alerts, the air rushing through them makes a sound that humans can't hear but deer can. And they don't run out in front of your car. They either run back towards the woods or they look up and watch you go by. Birding Mom said Michigan and Wisconsin have sign-ups for roadkill. They'll call you when someone hits a deer so you can go and harvest it. In Michigan, it's legal to take your own roadkill too. If you hit a deer, you can take it. I don't know if I think you have to report to the DNR, but Department of Natural Resources. But you can, in Pennsylvania, I think you have to leave it here. But I'd have to look that up. I don't even know people who hunt here. So what kind of sacrilege is that? Actually, I do. Jen, my drop spindle friend, bow hunts. And she gave me her leftover venison. She said, whatever's left in the freezer at the beginning of bow season, gets donated or given to friends. Because you can't legally sell it here. Knots and Stitches said, I live in a big city and almost hit deer at least twice a year. In Traverse City, you'd if you went to Myers in the middle of the night, you'd have to there'd be a whole herd of deer standing in the middle of the road. during the time of night where there wasn't much traffic. It's like, y'all get out of the way. And then one time I saw a bear ambling across the road in front of Myers. It's like, what the hell? 30,000 people live in this town. Robo says, my mom was hit by a deer in the middle of Grand Rapids on the highway at about Fulton on 131. Wow. I don't think I ever saw. I used to drive that. I used to drive back and forth between Traverse City and Kalamazoo a lot. I had a long distance relationship with someone in Kalamazoo for a few years. Made that drive a lot. Knots and Stitches said, in Texas it depends on the sheriff or state trooper that shows up when you hit a deer on whether or not you can keep the roadkill. Robo said, yeah, laughing my ass off. Hit a deer on 131, middle of Grand Rapids. Okay, but you said she was hit by a deer. That's different. The only time I ever hit a deer, knock on wood, I was on, boy, you'd have to probably be a Traverse City local to know, but I was on Hammond Road, kind of out in the boonies, or at least back in those days it was kind of out in the boonies. And it was dark. It wasn't late, but it was dark out. And in the distance, I saw a buck cross the road in front of me. I mean, not real far distance, but far enough ahead that I was able to stop. So I wait, I'm waiting for him to cross the road. And then, a doe follows him. And just as and there's another car facing me that had also stopped. So I'm seeing these shapes, in the headlights, but I'm pretty much blinded. And just as I began to pull forward, another doe ran out in front of me. And I just clipped her a little bit with my bumper. But enough that there was fur and blood on the bumper when I got where I was going. So she probably, and she ran. I clipped her. She went down. She got up and she ran. But she probably ran off on the field and died because their bones are fairly fragile. My husband, a couple of years ago, he worked at this restaurant where he would get off work between like 2 and 3 in the morning. And I was sound asleep and got this phone call that he had hit a deer on the highway, just like 10 miles from here, and completely totaled the car. Because he was going like 55 or 60 and just ran right out in front of him. It's like caved in the whole front of the car, pretty much took out the radiator. And he called, because we had road service. He called road service and they said, somebody will be there in a half an hour. But it was really, really cold. And so he called to see if, housemate could go pick him up. And so housemate went and picked him up. And it turned out that the wrecker didn't get there till like 5 in the morning. It's like hours later. He would have frozen to death. Knots and Stitches said, I've seen a car get totaled by a deer and the deer walks away. We have white-tailed deer down here. Yeah, that's what in Michigan and also here in Pennsylvania is white-tailed deer. It's just, deer are dangerous. Yes, they are. And one of the problems in Michigan is that so much salt gets used on the road. And here they don't use a lot of salt, which means our roads are more treacherous when we do get snow. But they use so much salt on the roads that it runs off. And then the grass along the sides of the roads is salty. And the deer crave the salt. So they will graze along the sides of the highway. And that's a really dangerous situation. But like I said, once I had deer alerts, I never had another one run out in front of me. They would dart off back towards the woods, or they would just lift their head up and look and watch me go by. Spanky says, are there deer in Maryland? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Because I know there are deer in Florida. When my sister lived in Florida, her in-laws were deer hunters. But the deer down there were a lot smaller. So I'm not certain if they were whitetail. I don't know if they were a different kind of type of deer or if they just didn't grow as big. Spanky said, I live in California and I'm trying to move to Maryland as soon as I find a place. Robo says, so I coach high school robotics and it was in the UP. On the way back from Escanaba to Houghton, one of the coaches hit a big old buck. Buck died right there, and we made sure they were okay and such. And one of the parents took the head of the deer and had it defleshed and gave her the deer skull and antlers as a thank you gift at the end of the season. Oh, yeah, when we would drive across the UP to go to Minneapolis. And there was a certain point in the late winter, early spring where all of the snow banks from the snowplows on the side of the road had started to melt back. And there were just like tons of deer carcasses protruding from the snowbanks. It was awful. But, the deer get hit by the plow and flung over into the snowbank and covered up with more snow, and eventually that all melts back, and then there are the perfectly preserved deer carcasses. Burning Mom said there are deer everywhere in the U.S. Well, and I know that in different places they're not always the same type of deer. There are mule deer out west somewhere, like maybe Wyoming and Montana. We have whitetail, but I don't know if whitetail are everywhere, or if they're more of an eastern U.S. sort of thing. Robo said we all just about collectively pissed ourselves laughing when that happened. Knots and Stitches said, on my way home from game night at midnight, I've counted as many as 24 in one park along the river. Yeah. Yeppers. Robo says, and plows don't know they hit a car, as one of my friends found out. Spanky said there are deer where I live now, but not where I grew up, also California. Veggie said my youngest brother's father either hit a moose or the moose ran into him on a highway in Alaska when I was a teen. I don't recall what happened to the moose, but he was in the hospital for a month before he passed. Moose are huge. Yeah, I can imagine a car losing a fight with a moose. Spanky said California has mule deer. I've never met a mule deer, but I've eaten some. When I was in high school, my stepfather had a friend who would hunt out west. And he'd have us over for antelope and mule deer and stuff like that. Veggie said my brother was 2 at the time. Knots and Stitches said my brother ripped the handlebars off his motorcycle when he gutted a doe going 60. Wow. Spanky said we also have black-tailed deer. Oh, I'm not familiar with those. And Veggie says, yikes, Knots and Stitches. Birding Mom says, yes, mule deer, black-tailed, tool, and antelope in California. I don't know what we have in Tacoma. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what Washington has. Except morels. You have morel mushrooms. Some friends of my husband's are morel people. We have morels in Michigan. Well, I think we have them here, but I don't know anybody who cares. But in Michigan, my friends wouldn't let me go morel picking with them because I can't see them. They're like, you're stepping on them. It's like, where? Move your foot. Knots and Stitches said, I think the Rocky Mountains are where mule deer show up. They're into the west. That sounds about right. I know when I went, when I was 18, I went on a Girl Scout sponsored trip to the Girl Scouts USA used to have a national center in Ten Sleep, Wyoming, where you could backpack and ride horses in the mountains and stuff. And I went on a trip out there when I was 18, and we drove and saw all the sights along the way. And I seem to remember like South Dakota being pronghorn antelope central. Birding Mom said moose are bad because you take out the legs, but the body comes sliding down the hood and through the windshield. My friend's husband hit one in Alaska and barely survived. Yeah, they're huge. And on these great long legs. Knots and Stitches said, I know there are mule deer in the mountains of New Mexico. Yeah, I bet you they're all through those mountains. I was just going to turn the page with my mouse. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so tired. I got to remember that tonight's our short night. We will be done. At what time are we? We're usually done at 3. We'll be done at 2 tonight. 2 a.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. Okay, what am I doing? I'm not getting much knitting done. You guys are too much fun to talk to tonight. I'll probably have time to knit at work tomorrow, but I probably should take my Hermione sock and work on that. I haven't worked on that all week. Robo said, my favorite part of new Tech Kids orientation was telling students to not slow down for deer if you weren't 100% sure you could avoid them. Because highway speeds make them roll over your hood up there, and slowing down makes them go through. Oh, that makes sense. Knots and Stitches said, I'm going to lay down and try to sleep soon. Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. And I hope you sleep well. Veggie said, I think my bro's father ended up paralyzed. Physics? Physics, okay, yeah. Physics, yeah. Darn wildlife. Physics. Okay. Disc. Yeah, I still have some of the venison roasts in my oven. Maybe like 10 pounds worth. That I'm gonna cut them up and can some venison soup to take to work for lunches. Robo says, can I have some? Well, if I ever get it done, because I've been saying this for like 6 months. If I ever get it done, I'll let you know. Veggie says, backstrap though. I think what I have are neck roasts. They were whatever my friend's family thought was the least desirable part of the deer. But they will work fine to pressure can some soup. Emo Daddy Squad, how are you doing? Says, this is my first break today from California Wildlife. What kind of California wildlife are you dealing with? Robo said, I'm running out of fiber way faster than I thought I was gonna. I hate when that happens. Veggie said, yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah, yes, exactly. And then every once in a while I'll have something, I'll be like spinning and spinning for hours thinking, shouldn't this bobbin be full by now? Birding Mom says, hey, Emo Daddy Squad. I'm glad you've gotten a break. Where are you? And at first I thought that you said your first break today from California wildfire, because, you know, that's a thing too. Robo says, this is only my second time spinning. Woohoo! Grats on spinning. Are you liking it? Are you spindling or are you on a wheel? Veggie says, chunky fiber. I keep sliding. I gotta push this up farther so that there's a little bit of the fabric hanging over the edge of the table. And I have my arms rested on it, and then I keep sliding it off. Veggie said, well, might be chunky, LOL. Robo says, Turkish drop spindle. I don't even know what I'm spinning, to be honest. I just have this fiber. Emo Daddy Squad said, I'm in California close to Los Angeles. Robo said, I think it's merino. Chances are good. There's a lot of merino out there. Robo says, I don't know what the first one was at all. I think, when a lot of people are new to spinning, it's just more about the spinning. Once you've got the spinning under control, then it starts to be about the fiber. Emo Daddy says, we have Mexico. Is that MX? I'm still adjusting to new glasses, so I can't always figure out what chat says. Firefighters help us. Robo said, I've been told I'm real consistent. I'm 100% self-taught. Cool. Birding Mom said, oh, okay, I have a friend in Santa Clarita, and she still has fires and bad air. Emo Daddy, I'm glad you're clear. Okay, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. There. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Emo Daddy said, "This is very worse. Wildlife, we are moving up to it soon." Now, is that supposed to be wildlife or wildfire? I can't, like I said, I have new glasses and I'm having a heck of a time reading chat still. It's been 2 weeks. Robo said, "Just posted pics in Discord of the spinning I'm on right now." Alrighty, I'll go look. Oh, and look at that. Discord was already open for a change. Spinning? Look at that. Is that a turtle mate spindle? This is the second time you've ever spun. Holy cow, Batman. I've been spinning for 100 million years, and I don't think my spinning has ever been that smooth or consistent. Sure, sure, I'd like to see number one. Emo Daddy says California, half of it start by baby reveal, start wildfire. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. What is the matter with people? I don't even understand this whole baby reveal party thing. You know, we didn't used to do, well, of course, back in the day, you didn't know what you were having. You were having a baby until it was born, and then you knew what it was going to be. But yeah, I don't understand the whole fascination between or with the gender reveal parties. Bookworm said, "Good evening," and yeah, and why would you need to have fireworks at it? It could scare the poor little fetus. Bookworm Lover said, "Good evening. I probably won't last long. I've had a tiring, ache-filled day. What yarn are you using?" This is some of the Dorset Polypay wool that I spun during TDF 2.0. And I dyed it with my Nightmare Before Christmas colorway. And it doesn't look anywhere near as cool on stream as it or on camera as it looks on in real life. Veggie said, "No, you don't have to rub it in." Ha ha ha. I'm pretty sure that was aimed at Robo. Veggie says, "A baby or gas, who knows?" Emo Daddy said, "We lost 2 firefighters trying to put that fire out." Yeah, because some entitled couple thought they needed to have fireworks. I think I heard them described as pyrotechnics. I don't know exactly how that differs from fireworks. Birding Mom said, "We have them up here. They leave so much trash in our parks, and we have a city ordinance to find people now who leave behind their confetti." Yeah, and rightly so. Okay, you know what, Veggie, I think you're going to lose the Smarty Pants designation and we're going to transfer it to Robo. Holy tamale, look at that yarn. The first time I ever spun did not look like that. Jeez Louise, as they say. Wow. Alrighty, you're hired. Veggie says, "Oh heck no." Robo says they aren't really fireworks like 4th of July. They are like tiny explosive that propel glitter and confetti. Okay, here's because see, we have small fireworks that you can buy, like bottle rockets and, small things. That it's not like 4th of July fireworks. But there are certain small fireworks that are legal in Pennsylvania. And then other slightly less small and less safe fireworks you can get just over the state line in Ohio. And people go over and bring them back all the time. But so these propel glitter and confetti. And people leave that crap all over in a park. Do that like in a hall or on pavement or something so you can sweep it up. Veggie says, that's my title. Bookworm said, what happened to confetti poppers with long streamers that are easily picked up after? Just be responsible partiers. Robo said, LOL, I'm tired, or I'm hired. Says, I think I'm doing some weird modified long draw. What I'm totally impressed with is, like you said, somebody had commented on the consistency. Yes. I rarely see anybody spin that smoothly and evenly, even after years of spinning, let alone their first time. You must have been spinning in a past life. Master spinner in a previous incarnation. Burning Mom said it was a smoke machine and they know who it was. They can be fined for the fire cost, may face manslaughter charges for the firefighters, and will probably be sued for the costs of damage in civil court. Totally stupid. So now they're not going to be able to afford to send the baby to the Ivy League college that they had planned. God, people. Like I said, what the fuck is the matter with people? Veggie said, wait, how did I lose it? Yeah, they aren't normal fireworks. Robo said that's exactly what they said. Veggie said, or having someone bake a cake with whatever crappy gender color they specify. Robo says the list of things that aren't wrong with people is a lot shorter. That's probably a good point. Emo Daddy said, I agree, Birding Mom. I agree with you, Birding Mom. Veggie said, gender reveal cake, the inside is white. What does it mean? Means it's none of your darn business. And Bookworm said, I think it's the icing. Well, like I said, back in the day, you didn't know what gender the baby was going to be. I think ultrasound should be for diagnostic purposes, not to tell you what your baby's gender is, especially since it's not always right. So what if somebody has the big gender reveal party and then, their baby doesn't turn out to be the gender they thought? Neener, neener. Veggie said, there's cake and a baby still on the way. Birding Mom said, my favorite was handing out envelopes with $1 in it for a boy and 72 cents for a girl. Snark. I think that's hilarious. But see, I see it's gone up. When I was an undergraduate, it was 59. We all had these buttons that said 59 cents. And men were always like, what's that mean? Yeah. It means for every dollar you make, I make 59 cents. So now we're up to 72 cents, and that's been, what has that been 40 years? Veggie says, I like that, Birding Mom. Bookworm said, LOL, that's happened, or you can't tell. Yeah. Robo said, okay, I hear you on these gender reveal parties, but like, what if we just had a cake? Well, Yeah, okay. So just have a cake. That'd be fine. But it still just blows me away. It's like, just have a baby shower. Why do you need, you know, have this whole big secret and then reveal? It's like, I don't know. There's just a place in my brain that goes, "Huh?" Veggie said, "You mean you can have cake any regular day?" Bookworm says, "Let everyone have cake." Veggies, nope, won't have it. Emo Daddy said, "I am going back to work. You keep us in prayer for, we will. Absolutely. Stay safe, Emo Daddy." And it was nice to see you. I have not seen you in quite a while. Spanky said, "Can I just have some cake?" Of course you can have some cake whenever you want. And Veggie sends a purple heart for Emo Daddy. Robo says, "But how will strangers know what genitals my baby has if I don't color code them?" Well, and that's kind of the thing, isn't it? We have to teach our babies gender norms from even before they're born. Birdie Mom said, "Well, for white women it's 72 cents. You'd have to adjust for the race of the child." That's an excellent point. Bookworm Lover said, "Just another thing to spend money on." And Birdie Mom says, "Good night, Emo Daddy." Bookworm said, "Maybe that's the plan all along." Emo Daddy said, you are part of my family on here. Well, we'll be thinking about you. Like I said, stay safe. Veggie said, "If it's an innie, is that a boy or a girl? Or is that an outie? Also, boy or girl?" You kind of have to wait until they grow up and ask them. I remember when I was an undergrad, I had a sociology class where we read this paper about how someone had as like a sociology experiment, not told anybody whether their baby was male or female, and always dressed them in androgynous clothing with an androgynous hairstyle, and they played with both dolls and toy trucks, and so all of the just absolutely no gender identification, and people's brains exploded. Robo said, "Clearly the solution is to get them white everything and a bottle of RIT dye and instructions on how to dye things. Or just, dress them in all tie-dye. I'd like that too." Robo said, "I'm never having kids, but I'd have yes, tie-dye everywhere." But like back, I was reading somewhere about, there's a friend of mine on Facebook is trans or gender fluid, maybe. But anyway, posts a lot of stuff, a lot of memes and things having to do with gender stuff. And so I followed a rabbit hole to an article that was talking about how, we very are very, as culturally, very adamant about pink being for girls and blue being for boys, to the point where most men won't wear pink. But it turns out that up until it might have been Victorian times now, I'd have to go back and look for the information, it was the opposite. Pink was for boys and blue was for girls. And I don't remember why it shifted. But, there are so many other colors you can dress your baby in. Everything doesn't have to be pink and blue. My mother brought my youngest sister home from the hospital in a little blue outfit, and everybody assumed she was a boy. Birding Mom says, "The person who invented the gender reveal, pro party planner, now hates them, and her kid is in the midst of a gender transition. Irony. Yeah, and a lot of trans people are really offended by the concept of gender reveal parties, because you can't know. Robo says I'm non-binary myself. Yeah. Yeah, there's gender is a spectrum, it's not black or white, so to speak. Veggie said, money? Sign me up. Bookworm Lover said, used to be opposite. Yep. Robo said heels also were used by butchers. I was just reading an article, and of course it was on the internet, so, take it with a grain of salt. But that heels on shoes were originally for men, and it had to do with riding horses, because at least with a heel on your shoe, your foot would stay in the stirrup better. Or at least that was according to this article I read. But then, women started to adopt the style, and then it became like a status thing. Veggie said boys had pink and girls had blue. Yep. Bookworm said I blame the Barbie doll. I think it all changed before Barbie. Robo said, LOL, all my trans friends are like, screw you, screw your 3-month getting a gender reveal party. I'm having one at 26. Well, see, and then you can plan it yourself. Veggie said, heels and corsets, I think, were for men. Now, I hadn't heard that. Well, maybe I have heard that about corsets. And there have been various time periods where the way men dressed, we would now think of as being very effeminate. Birding Mom said it also depends on your kid. I've had very neutral parents with kids that strongly ID with a gender. My tomboy friend has a daughter who only wants the frilliest pink dresses. Yeah. Yep. Like, how long ago? 25 years ago or so. Some lesbian friends of mine had a baby with a gay male couple who were good friends with them. And they had shared custody. And my friend was saying, they would send, and the baby was a daughter, and they would send her over for, to spend time with their dads wearing little bit of overalls and hiking boots. And she'd come back wearing frilly dresses. So the lesbian moms were, dressing her as gender neutral as they could, and the dads would send her home wearing all the little frilly dresses. And some boys want to play with masculine toys, and some girls want to play with dolls and stuff, and some don't, or some want to play with both. Robo said, ugh, God, having gay parents would be the worst. The endless loop of go ask your mom or go ask your dad would be brutal. Or like twice as many dad jokes. I hadn't thought of that. I had not thought of that. Okay, one. I need to focus for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Twice as many dad jokes. God, that'd be awful. Veggie said, ugh, the 80s flowery lace girl dresses. Flashback. Bookworm said, I'm a tomboy all the way. I don't care about getting dirty outside, but I don't care about makeup. But if you put a slimy meat or spiders near me, I squeal. You see, I haven't worn makeup in years. I wore makeup in high school and in college. Well, partway through my undergrad. But I'm allergic to everything. And, like makeup makes my eyes water and run. And that's not attractive. And I just quit, and then I quit shaving my legs. And then, but I like to wear dresses. But I like, long, full, granola mama dresses. So, my skirts are all down to my ankles. I guess I probably would be more of not really a hippie chick because, I don't know, tree-hugging dirt worshiper fits pretty well. Veggie said, you got a gift. What is it? Oh, thanks. It's another dress that looks like one I already have. And Veggie says, I can't play and climb trees in this. Well, you know what? My elder stepdaughter would play and climb trees in dresses. Because I'd make her dresses all the time. And we'd put her in tights because we knew was going to be a hooligan on the playground. But I like dresses, but not, not like femme dresses. I am not in favor of United States beauty standards and all that bull crap. Robo said, I have distinct memories of me as a child refusing to put on dresses when my parents tried to force me to go to church. Bookworm said, that's when you wear long jeans and stockings. Robo said they were lucky to get me there in my dinosaur costume. I think more people should, children and adults both should go to church in dinosaur costumes. Veggie said, oh no, the white tights. Bookworm Lover said, I really don't like dresses because the ties get a knot in your back. I've always done shirt and skirts. Oh, my dresses don't have ties. The dresses that I would make for Riley they were like little jumpers with full skirts. And I had this one pattern I really liked, and she had just a ton of dresses in whatever obnoxious prints I could find. Christmas prints and, Halloween prints and patchwork. I'd make a sheet of fabric out of squares of fabric scraps all sewn together and then cut her a dress out of it. Rowa said, alas, as I get older, I find that beauty is dumb and subjective. Pretty people aren't pretty if they aren't good people. Yeah, pretty people are pretty on the inside. I don't care what the outside looks like. Birding Mom said my stepmom would give my daughter all these expensive frilly dresses that would overwhelm her and itch or rub, so we would put them on and do a photo shoot, then return them, and I'd buy her a toy she wanted and put the rest in her college fund. Yep, you the mom, Birding Mom. Bookworm said, that's true, Robo. Yeah, I'm all about what... Yeah. Yeah. So it's like how people behave, not how they look. Bookworm says, great idea, birding mom. Okay, let's see where we are. I think we're still on 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, look at this sparkly silver hair. I wonder where that came from. Only my head. A friend of mine yesterday was saying that her butt has gotten bigger and she blames it on coronavirus. I pointed at my head and said, this is what I blame. I started out of the pandemic with just, a little silver framing my face. Now my whole hair is all shot through with silver. I'm blaming it on the pandemic. Veggie said I blame the pants. Robo said I upped my anxiety meds over COVID-19. You know what? I bet you a lot of people did. It has been totally stressful. See where we at. Okay, 1, 2. Bookworm said, there's this movie, I can't remember what platform, but a serial killer swaps bodies with a pretty cheerleader. Perfect example of never judge a person by their looks. Love a person for who they are and their brain, not beauty. Yep, when I go down the list of all of the different kinds of ways you can identify yourself, I'm a sapiosexual. I go for the brains. Either that or I'm a zombie, a veggie. If somebody is smart and they can make me laugh, that is the way to my heart. Of course, you can't be an asshole or a psychopath. Bookworm said, beauty is fleeting unless you see beauty as a good characteristics and qualities. Yeah, physical beauty is fleeting. Robo said, I had a thing to say and my boyfriend texted me and I ADD'd super hard. Got distracted. I don't know anything about that. I am absolutely amazingly distractible. Robo said, I don't know what I was going to say. I spend a lot of time in that place. Veggie says, up, I'm out with the ladder. I thought I was into... Oh, you are smart and you make me laugh. Are you flirting with me, Veggie? Robo says, oh, yes, looks aren't a big deal, but I'm shamelessly a fan of pretty blue eyes. Yeah, I like blue eyes too. Veggie says, ha ha ha, no. see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Two, three. Okay. Okay, I know where I am. Robo said, I think Veggie's real answer is it depends on who's asking. Bookworm said, Dreamland, La La Land, outer space, what glorious places to travel to, those and into a good book. Yeah, and I didn't get any reading done today at all. Birding Mom said if Veggie was flirting, she'd be showing off her eggplant emojis again. I forgot about the eggplant emojis. Three, 4. Oh, wait, nope, this is a knit even round. Veggie. Veggie asked, is the movie freaky? Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Veggie says, did it say tinks? Did I tink? I might have. I don't remember. One of our make and take students yesterday was telling me that she's just the group. There was 5 women that came together, and they're like a knitting group. They get together in a small town, a little town called Saxonburg, and they about 45 minutes from here, and they get together and knit, go to lunch together and stuff. And now, see, I just was looking at what you guys are typing, and I lost my train of thought. Oh, so the one woman was telling me that she's just recently learned to knit, and they've helped her a lot. And now she's trying to learn how to tink. Because her tendency is to just, rip it out. And they're like, no. You just have to tink back a few stitches. Veggie said, I don't know, sounded like it, but I saw nothing. Burning Mom said, no, Veggie, she auto-carroted in knitting. That, I like that. I'm not tinking, I'm auto-carroting. Bookworm said, not Freaky Friday. No, it's a new one coming out. Maybe Amazon Prime or Starz HBO or Netflix, something like that. Birdie Mom said, squirrel. Veggie said, no, just Freaky with Vince Vaughn. Robo said, I crochet. I'm trying to learn how to knit, but it doesn't work with my brain as well as crochet. For crocheters, a lot of times, in my experience anyway, continental style knitting fits in the brain better than the other kind. So like what I'm doing, where I hold my yarn and tension it the same way you would if you were crocheting, and then that just, I crocheted first, and that just made sense. Robo said, I want to learn all the things before I start it, and knitting is like all over the place. Also, I'm almost out of fiber. So yeah, now you have to knit your lovely yarn. Bookworm said, I have a feeling I'm going to be the same, Robo. Veggie said, darn auto carrot. Keep chasing and never reaching the carrot. Bookworm said, I think I may just learn continental. Fido said, I had to learn continental before it made a small modicum of success with knitting. Veggie says, what do you mean the other way? The other way that's not continental. I've heard it called English, but I think there's something else people call it too. So I don't know. I don't do it because my brain can't. It's like I can't figure out how to hold my face when I'm trying to throw the yarn. Bookworm Lover said, would make it easier too when I get to Fair Isle. Yeah, someone told me many, many years ago, when I was expressing interest in Fair Isle, that if somebody wants to knit Fair Isle, it behooves them to be able to knit both ways. And so you can carry both yarns. You don't have to stop and put one down and pick one up. And I tried, but my brain couldn't figure out how to bend. I'll probably try it again sometime. Birding Mom says, Robo, where are you? It helps to have a knit group. Bookworm Lover says, English. Robo said, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Veggie said, not everyone can continental. Nope, and not everyone can English. Birding Mom said, it's English or being a thrower. Yeah, and I'm what am I, a picker? Because, instead of throwing the yarn, I just grab it. Veggie said, it's English. I can knit continental, need to work on purling. You know what? I hated purling for years and years and years and years. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, no, I don't. And then sometimes I even kind of like purling better than knitting. Fido said, I taught myself to tension both colors on the same hand for my double knitting projects. Well, and that's what I've done on the several occasions I've done Fair Isle. Is just, I tension both here and then you just pick one or the other. Birding Mom said, I carry both and continental, but I throw if I knit backwards. I do it differently if I knit backwards. Do you mean like when you do entrelac or that sort of thing? I don't know if I would have called it throwing, but I'll have to notice the next time I'm doing it. Veggie said, I can't English and I speak it. Birding Mom said, Robo Babe, if you can make it to Tacoma, I'd teach you. Bookworm Lover says, hey, I may try that, Fido. Hey, Taki. Taki says, how's it cracking? I'm afraid if it cracks anymore, it's going to break. Things are going. They're going okay. Pretty well, considering everything. Veggie says, whoa, you, huh? Fido says to Bookworm, they even make fancy rings if you want further assistance. You know what? I've seen those now that you mention it. Taki said, dude, birding. Birding Mom said, my throw is more of an intentional wrap. Yeah, I think I do that too. And I think that my pick is different knitting than it is purling. Taki said, I had a kimono meet up at the Arboretum last Saturday. Of the 5 of us, I alone got soaked. Soaked. Veggie says, oh no. Robo said, not sure where Tacoma is. Also, officially done with number 2. Grats on number 2. Tacoma is in Washington. It's like south and west of Seattle, kind of at the bottom of the Puget Sound. Is that correct, Birding Mom? Like at the bottom of the sound? Taki said, we were the only customers at this restaurant, and they refused to let us come inside when it started pouring on us. Oh, yeah. Stupid pandemic. Veggie said, Washington State. Yep. A Birding Mom said, Big Bird Spam Bot. Join our Advent Festive Mini Swap. Sign-ups close next week. Details in Snoring Cat's Discord. And there's the Discord if anybody needs it. Robo says, so other side of the U.S. Yes, exactly. Birdie Mom says, no, Olympia is at the bottom of the sun. Oh, that's right. But we are in the middle between Seattle and Olympia. The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle. And Birdie Mom's probably the only person here who has any hope of knowing where that song came from. Robo says, time to start on the next thing of yarn. I have no idea how much yarn this will be or how much I can make with it. Bookworm said, hey, how are you doing with the smoke? Taki said, smoke's gone. We've been dumped on for a week. For a week? Yeah, but we have the smoke now. It's like you can't really see it or smell it, but our air quality is horrible. Because, we have particulate because of the smoke. And there are fires out west every year. I don't remember ever before being told that our air quality was being affected by the smoke. We're way the hell on the other side of the country. Veggie said, yay, rain. Taki said, gale winds and rain. My car's been sliding all over the place from the wind. Wow. Robo said, yeah, my lungs sure have noticed. Yep, my lungs, my sinuses, my eyes. Fido said, it's been so nice, the winds and the rains. Birdie Mom said, our present to the U.S. Yes. Thank you. Okay, I think I still need to... What did I just do? Well, crap. Okay. Veggie. Go ahead and hit the tink button. Because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, those two go back there. Taki said, think of it as karmic revenge for Trump calling us anarchist jurisdictions. Hey, I didn't vote for him. Veggie says, where's the button? Scrambles. So we're up to 49. Yeah, and you know what? I'm thinking that almost all of the tinking has been when I've been working on fingerless mitts. Because I actually have a design I have to pay attention to on these. Okay, let's see. Where are we? I'm all tangled up in all of the tinked yarn. Oh, I should halfway pay attention to what time it is. One, two, three, four. Okay. I'm having a moment of confusion. Pardon me. Veggie thinks so. Yeah, I think so. Well, we missed it because it's almost 1:30. So we've only got a half an hour left, so there's no point in taking a break. Well, if we want it, usually we do break halfway through, which on Thursdays would make it at an hour and a half in. Okay, what just happened? Why are their emotes exploding all over the screen? Something must have happened. I'm not getting any other alerts. Hello? Did somebody just follow? I have no idea. Did anybody see anything? Call Me Sly says, "Hi there. Oh, you tried to raid. Oh, I didn't get a raid notice. Raiding has been weird." Taki said, "This is what I'm working on right now. One of 3 for a 3D ornament." Nuclear Dave said, "You were raided by Call Me Silly." Or call me silly. Call Me Sly. Well, thank you so much for the raid. Nuclear Dave said she brought me. Welcome, Raiders! Thanks for the raid. How was your stream? And what were you up to tonight? Okay, and hang on just a second. I'm going to click on Taki's link and see what she's working. Ooh! Nice. And that is for, wait. Let me find Streamlabs again. For a 3D ornament. Nice. Let us, keep us posted. I'd like to see when it's done. Okay, where are we? And then Veggie gave a shout out to Call Me Sly. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid. Veggie said, "I almost missed the link." Call Me Sly said, "Had a wonderful stream. Got a raid and some follows." Cool. It's been, I don't know if I don't think it's just me, but I don't think it's everybody. It's like this whole week has been really slow. Tonight has been busier, but it just has seemed quiet on Twitch this week. But tonight has not been quiet. Taki says, "I can show you a finished one." Cool, I'd like to see a finished one. Nuclear Dave said she had a pretty awesome little ballerina figure under construction. You've got some stiff competition now. Competition. Nah, we're all in this together. Call Me Sly says, "Was working on a crochet ballet cat." Cool. Robo says, "Sorry." Okay, what did I miss, Robo? What are you sorry for? Did I miss something? What raids come in and things happen fast and stuff gets lost. Okay, finished ones. Oh, those are pretty. Those are very pretty. Oh, wait. Who's leaving? Bookworm says, "All right, I gotta head out. Bye." Thanks for hanging out, Bookworm. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. And sleep well. Assuming you're, heading off to sleep. Call Me Sly says, "Yep, teamwork." Robo said, "You said it hasn't been quiet tonight, so I'm apologizing." Oh, no, it's no. Being talkative is a good thing. Although I don't get as much work done when you guys are rowdy. But that's okay because I like when you're rowdy. Taki said, "I have clear canvas this time. hoping for a more polished look. Cool. Oh wait, I gotta count something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta bind off some stitches here. 1. Oh, come here. 2. 3. 4. 5. 'Birdie Mom said, LOL Robo, there's a few of us very chatty ones. Veggie said that, and that's true, but that's a good thing. Veggie said those are pretty cool, Taki. And Birdie Mom has 100 million bazillion fluffs. Veggie said, I carried the convo for the first part of the stream. It's y'all's turn. Birdie Mom said, see, you get fluffs for talking and see how much I've chatted. Veggie said, just kidding, can't keep me quiet, LOL, unless you know me in real life. There should be, hang on, let me look. Okay, where it says support, there's a black banner thing that says support through Streamlabs. That is a donation button. And then underneath that, there's a link to my coffee account. So yeah, those are those. Thanks for asking. It says, never mind, found it. Birdie Mom said, coffee. Veggie said, can't get fluffs in real life. Not the same ones anyway. Well, thank you so much for the tip. David just tipped 5 buckaroonies. Thank you so much. Call Me Sly said, sorry, my internet just died on me. I'm so happy to be able to catch your stream tonight. Well, I'm so glad you could too. I will, hang on, let me let me go give you a follow so I can see when you're on. And assuming I'm not streaming at the same time, I can come check out your stream. I had to pull out your phone. Veggie says, what are these for? Am I doing this right? What are what for, Veggie? Thank you for the follow, Call Me Sly. Yeah, I just followed your stream too. Nuclear Dave said, okay, I gotta take off. Oh, wait. The thing is moving. Take off, you crazy cats. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the raid. Have a lovely night. Veggie says, I have so many of these. The channel points. Yeah, I need to figure out some more stuff to put on. Silly stuff for the channel points. I need to still put up more stuff for the fluffs too. Okay, 5, 6. Oh, come on. I need... What are you doing? I think you're supposed to go over there. And I don't know how many that was. Oh well. Just bind off the whole thumb gusset. Don't worry about how many stitches it is, because, you know, it's always the same number. Okay. There we go. Robo said, I'm biased to the hydrate option for channel points. Make you be healthy and drink water for points. And Veggie redeems the hydrate. All right. I usually am really good at maintaining my hydration during streams. Because, I talk all the time and then my mouth gets dry. Birding Mom says, I'm cashing mine in for a tour of Harmony. That would have been free. Veggie said, that's a good idea, Birding Mom. And retreat party. Robo says, I'm putting new fiber on the spindle. Woohoo! Taki said, people keep catching me with a hydrate when I drain my water bottle. Like, come on, wait for me to have water. Robo said, on the first 3 or so God's eyes that you have to do stress me out. I can't make them pretty. You know what? You don't have to. Tibetan spindles have been around forever, and I have only seen people do the pretty turtles for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or less. Maybe some people did it before then, but people just wrapped it around. I have only recently started making pretty turtles. And mine still aren't as pretty as yours are. Taki said, oh my God, Kat, have you seen the archaeologist knitting meme going around? No, I have not. Veggie says, Turkish? And Robo said, yeah. Archaeologist and knitting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can click on it and make it bigger. Huh. Oh, that's cool. That is totally cool. Okay, I'm going to leave that open so I can look at it again. Robo said, I'm pretty particular with my crafts, so like they need to look pretty or it bothers me. Veggie says, I heard Tibetan. Yeah, but I don't think anybody tonight has said glider, Snyder glider. I don't think Scott was here tonight, was he? Well, if he was, he's not now. Usually he says hi if he comes in, though. Taki said, I've thrown some mostly finished stuff in the trash if I didn't like how it looked, rather than rip out the beads. Veggie said, say it one more time and he will be summoned. Oh, Scott. Snyder glider, Snyder glider, Snyder glider. It's like there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Birdie Mom says, train. Robo said, ooh, Discord has an animal channel. Robo said, enjoy my dog trying to be modern art. So tonight is the 1:45 a.m. train. You know, I'm starting to think that the trains are just random. Like, you know, not on any kind of a set schedule. Taki said, LOL, we have a train at 2 a.m. on the dot that either has a decent conductor or an asshole. Yeah, I think I get you there. Veggie says, I had to double take which was the front of which and which was the end. Robo said, okay, it's 1:45 and I have to work at 11:30, so I'm going to go pass out. Yeah, I'm going to be off of here at 2 and I have to work at 11, so and you know what, and I'll probably get in bed and read I'll be like, just one chapter, and then I'll end up getting like 3.5 hours of sleep. Robo said, I'll have to catch up on this stream more often. Well, you come on in anytime you want. And sometime if I can ever get to Michigan, you know, maybe you know, all of us Michigan peeps can have coffee or something. Taki said there's just some that literally lay on that horn for miles. Yeah, they think they're funny. We have I'm about a block from the fire department, and I'm right on the main street. And when the fire engines, whoever's driving the engines, sometimes they wait until they get out on the main road, you know, up out of the residential area onto the state highway before they turn on the sirens. Others of them, as soon as they turn out of their parking lot, don't care what time of day or night it is. Taki says, like, who peed in your coffee, asshole? Yeah, exactly. Veggie said, next stream is Sunday 11. ETS. Yep. EST. Oh, yeah, I didn't even catch it. Veggie said, don't spit in my coffee and tell me it's creamer. Robo says, Purple Heart, I'm game. I'm in Lansing, so I'm decently central. Yeah, well, like I said, my family is all up around Bridgeport, Saginaw area. But I have friends in Grand Rapids I need to go see. So you're, you know, centrally located. Burning Mom said, I have to be somewhere at 8 a.m. tomorrow like I was today. More car stuff? Veggie said, I was going to sleep at break time. Yeah, Baum and Maid couldn't have left at break time tonight because we didn't have a break time. So she just didn't show up at all. It's weird not having Baum and Maid here. That'd be like not having Veggie Zombie and Burning Mom here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I do? Oh no, that looks right. Oh, okay. 1, 2, okay. Okay, no problem. Veggie says, the plot thickens. Taki says, I'm hoping I feel up to a small late night after work stream tomorrow with beads. That'd be cool. Yeah, I won't be here. I actually have the nerve to give myself a couple of nights off a week. Veggie said, Bowman, oh, where you at? She probably sleeping. She's I think the smallest child has been taking a lot out of her lately. Taki said, I've really, really dropped a lot of streams in the last several weeks because I've been so exhausted. And I keep having, tonight, I kept thinking, God, do I just want to go to bed? But then, you guys always make me feel better. Hanging out with y'all makes me feel better. I shouldn't put that weight on you. Hanging out with y'all makes me feel better. Burning Mom says, I came home this morning and went back to bed after a strong coffee. I hear ya. I have absolutely been known to do that. Veggie said, I can try and catch it. Crap, we were trying for the opposite. Wait, what? What are we trying to catch? Now, see, I'm waiting for Veggie and Birding Mom to start streaming. They'll probably both stream while I'm sleeping. Oh, Veggie says, the opposite of making your day. No, don't do the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. Now, see, I was in bed early enough last night. I should have had enough sleep. That should have been plenty. I don't know why I am so exhausted. Apart from the year from hell. But, Veggie said we failed. This is how it is now. Deal with it. Taki said that was me all day, all week. Well, like a month ago, I was thinking about how everybody sort of has hit fatigue level with all of this. It's like, battle fatigue. And, but, it's worse now. So, and I think the stress and drama is going to just keep ramping up until the election. And then who knows what is going to happen after that. I've been sort of jokingly commenting that, I don't expect, regardless of who wins, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a civil war. People are so divided and so angry, and I don't expect it, but, given the flavor of this year, I wouldn't be surprised. And in the last week, I've seen a handful of people talk about how there's civil war coming. I'm like, what the hell? I was joking. Y'all are talking serious. I just hope that my backward little historical town here turns out to be a safe place to be when whatever it is happens. Taki said, I've been waking up feeling like shit every day. Yeah. And some days are better and some days are worse, but none of them are good. Oh, which reminds me, I didn't do any golden paste today. I should do some golden paste before I go to bed. I'm supposed to do that twice a day. And I did a really good job at first, and now I keep forgetting. Veggie said, I've heard Civil War talk for years before the Cheeto. Well, yeah, but I mean, this is people who I wouldn't expect to say something like that. I mean, very, very mainstream people. So it really has surprised me. It caught my attention. Taki said, this week has been horrible for justice. RBG wasn't even cold, and Mitch already trying to push through an anti-abortion justice. And then Louisville grand jury didn't indict the cops and only charged one cop for hitting the neighbor's fence. Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Veggie said, yeah, I'm not surprised, sadly. You know, it's like all the crap from over the however long in this country is coming to a head all at once. Somebody needs to pop that damn zit. Birdie Mom said, I am going to vote and go into media blackout. That's a really good idea. You know, just go do it and then, you know, go home and turn off all of the electronics and read a book. Taki said, if Roe versus Wade gets overturned, I might seriously consider emigrating somehow. And you are not the first person I've heard say that. Veggie said, even the whole voting issue. And, you know, all over the internet, I'm getting, you know, pop-ups, not pop-ups, but like, you know, ads asking me if I'm registered to vote. And today, now, Honey Buddy didn't get one, but the housemate and I both got postcards telling us it's not too late to register and you can register. And it's like, why? What? It's like, why? Well, no, not really pop-ups, but, you know, like ads, how there are ads on Facebook and all over everything and how they're really targeted. And it's like, what? There's a much harder push towards registering to vote than I remember ever before. Taki said, off topic, but my color selection looks amazing. You know what? Our fibery whatevers are never off topic here. You can always talk about your fibery stuff. Taki said, I've been getting Iowa voting. LOL, what? Are you encouraging fraud? One ad said, we're ready to ditch Mitch. I laughed pretty hard. Veggie said, I got a door hanger on our front door for making sure we're registered. Yeah, I don't remember ever getting all the ads and all. You know, there's always a, you know, make sure you're registered, everybody go vote, but, you know, never this hard push. Like, where's all this money coming from to, like, print all of this stuff and buy all these ads? They could be using that money to give us a stimulus or something. Taki said less than half of the population has voted each election for the last several elections. It's such a huge untapped resource. Yeah, people are so disillusioned. People don't feel like their vote, you know, there have been so many cases where it seems fairly obvious that the voting was rigged in one state or another, that people don't feel like their vote matters. Veggie said, just more trash to litter the planet with. Yeah, because, you know, people can't be bothered to recycle. Recycling is probably a socialist plot, right? Taki says to Robo, that blanket is so colorful. Veggie says, damn the socialists. And Taki posted. Yeah, that's so pretty. Veggie said, blanket? Taki said, Robo put a pic of a work in progress in Discord. Rainbow black blanket. I will look. In the whips. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. And that's a big bed. I always forget how big kings are. We have a queen. I always forget how much bigger a king is than a queen. I'm not sure we could fit a king size in our, well, I know we couldn't get it to the second floor because it was all they could do to get our queen up there. Taki said, look at the center, it's so pretty. Veggie says, so pretty. Oh, and Robo's gone, so so they're not hearing all of our oohs and ahs. Taki said the picture doesn't really show, but there's equilateral rows of beads sitting up on top for a 3D effect. That's very cool. Veggie says, ooh, nice blanket. Spanky says, I'm heading to bed. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming, hanging out. It's nice to see you again. Sleep well, get good rest, stay safe and healthy. And we'll see you the next time. Fido says, mattress in a box for a bigger size. We would have to, I think. Although now the biggest problem was the box spring because our queen has a single box spring. And I think don't kings typically have have separate like two box springs, like two twins underneath the mattress, and you can like fold the mattress sort of kind of sometimes. But yeah, getting stuff upstairs in our houses. Yeah, I thought I was going to have a heart attack when they were moving my loom upstairs. I was just sure they were going to break something, either the house or the loom or I don't know what. And I wasn't here when they got our chest freezer down in the basement. I'm really glad I didn't witness that because I would have probably had a heart attack. Fido said, yeah, kings are two twins. Had to explain that to my parents when they were looking for their box springs. And there's the California king, which is even bigger. And I just recently found out there's another king that's even bigger than a California king. But I can't remember what it was called. But it was ginormous. It could sleep like a family of 12. I'm not sure there's a room in my house big enough. Because, 200 and whatever years ago, people weren't thinking in terms of king size beds. Well, housemate's room could fit a king. Without a lot of room space for all his other stuff he has in there. Somebody told me that you can special order split box springs for queen size, but we didn't know that when we got ours, and we didn't need it in our old apartment. We didn't have any trouble getting it into the apartment. Oh, now see, I didn't even get this done. And it's time to go. Tonight went by really fast. See what happens when you guys are really chatty? It goes by so fast. Snoring Cat doesn't get very much work done, which is fine because it'll probably be slow at work tomorrow and I can work on stuff. Although, do I want to work on these or do I want to work on socks? Or do I want to cut out more masks because I need to make more of those? Veggie said, typey, typey, typey. Veggie, you have 100 million trillion fluffs. Fido has... See, I can't see, it's like, is that a 6 or an 8? Anyway, pushing 3,000. And Veggie says, typey, typey, typey. Okay, you guys. I gotta go because I gotta work in the morning. Everybody got fluffs. Yeah, but see, some of these people come every day and like talk all night. So they add up. So, but even just hanging out in here, even if you're lurking, you still get some fluffs. Birding Mom says, good night. Thanks for the stream. Good night, Birding Mom. It's nice to see you as always. Veggie says, rude. Why do you think I was talking about you, Veggie? We'll see you later, Birding Mom. So, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. And lurkers, thank you for lurking. And Veggie says I wasn't, but now I am. See, she keeps distracting me. Oh, what was I going to say? I will not be here tomorrow night or Saturday night. Although I may be lurking or hanging out in people's streams over the weekend, depending on how busy it is at work. Bother. But I'll be back Sunday night. Oh, more space. Oh, thank you. Boy, you're fast. Veggie's like, boom, you're gone. Before I even have completely registered that it's spam. Sunday night, I'll be here 11ish. As close to 11 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. as I can manage. Barring unforeseen circumstances. My usual schedule for anybody who's new is Monday through Wednesday, 11 p.m. until 3 a.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. and Thursdays 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. because I have to work Friday morning. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and for being awesome people and for making my nights, making life better, making the pandemic a little easier to deal with. And I have no idea what we'll be doing Sunday night. Maybe knitting, maybe spinning, maybe who knows what, but it'll be something fiber related. So y'all have a good weekend. Maybe I'll see you around other places on Twitch. If not, come back and see me Sunday night. And have a good night. Oh, I forgot to say I love you guys.